Hello everyone, welcome to Black Arrow Gaming. I'm Bob, and this is the 12th episode in my third Age of Wonders 3 Advanced Strategy series. In the last episode, I brought this army up out of the underground, and I'm getting ready to charge the enemy Tigran rogues' capital. I'm going to be doing that battle in this episode, but before I get to that, let's go over some of the comments from last week. The first one I want to look at came from Vontos, and he had mentioned that this city down here, when I was doing this battle, I had a Tigran Mystic, a Dwarf Deep Guard, and one Elf Longbowman that I used to kill an enemy Necromancer hero. I ultimately lost the Longbowman, but there was a point in this battle when I could have saved him. My Panther was close enough to the enemy hero at 44 minutes in the last video, episode 11. I could have cast Quick Dash on the Panther, which I had used to break part of a wall, and gotten enough action points to pounce and get in the hero's face, which would have prevented him from attacking my Elf Longbowman with a range attack. Might have even killed him. I don't remember exactly how much health he had, but it would have at least prevented him from going after the Elf Longbowman. That was just a mistake that I made in that battle. Still getting used to using the rogue, so I have a lot of spells and abilities that I'm not used to having, and Quick Dash is one of them that I need to remember to use that more frequently. The next comment that I wanted to look at came from WhoAmI2357. He said he had a number of good advice for the upcoming battle. Actually, let's look at his right before I do that battle. For now, let's move on to Silly Putty. He had mentioned over up here, this last city I was kind of debating on what to do with it, and ultimately I built a siege workshop at one point. I actually didn't need that because my production was already over 100, and that's all that's needed to make the Tigran Sabertooth chariots that I'm planning on making at the city. I should have looked up how much the chariots actually cost. They are 100 gold, which means I could make them in one turn with 100 production. I did not need to build that siege workshop, but it's a little too late to go back now. He also had some general good suggestions about city build order, like, for example, I could have built the barracks in one turn. Wouldn't have slowed me down at all. May as well have done that, since I know I'm going to need the barracks in order to get the war hall for the Sabertooth chariots. It's actually what I'm going to get next, by the way, if I decide that I have enough money for it on this turn. First, though, before I do anything else, I want to get this major battle over with, and for this upcoming battle, I have some good advice from WhoAmI2357. He had several good things to say about the battle. Generally, making sure that the infantry units have that the infantry units that would not otherwise be able to climb the wall, make sure they're with the hero that has infiltration squad. And also, where is that? Yeah, it's down here. So just general good advice like that, making sure the units with regrowth are the ones taking most of the damage, which is what I'm going to try to do. But he also pointed out that Tigran Mystics, I might be able to trick them into transforming by doing a small amount of damage to them. If I can damage them a little bit, they might transform into the Werepanther because that heals them for a little bit of their health. That's what this ability right here. Where is it? Werepanther restores 15 health when they transform. If I can get them to transform into the Werepanther, they'll restore some health, but they won't have the range attack anymore, and they make up the majority of the range damage that I'm going to take from the top of that wall. I got 2 Mystics up there, and then I think I've got, the Trebuchet will do quite a bit, but the other unit's just a Shredder. I'm not too worried about him. So, that's something that I might consider or think about. I had hoped to kill them fast anyway, just to keep them from beating on me with range damage too much, but I think that that's good advice. So without I think I'm just going to go for this. I think I'm going to get this battle done right at the beginning of this episode. I have to consider who needs to go with what army, so I'm going to split into 2 groups here. I'm going to have my Heroes group and my Dreadnoughts group. The Dreadnoughts group, which actually I think will all have Forge Aprons, now that I think of it, that'll help with the resisting the Sphinxes. So I might want units that would be more vulnerable to fire damage with him. Also units that can float or fly. Since this is a floating unit and can go right over the wall, there's no reason to have it with my rogue hero. And with that unit, I also will send the Orc Apprentice, since he's kind of a healer, and he can stand on the other side of the wall and shoot range if he needs to. With my hero, I want the bear, I want the Sabertooth Chariot, generally tough units that I want to be able to go over the wall. So both saber-tooth chariots. The fairies do not need to be with the hero. Who else could benefit from being with her? Honestly, the Dreadnought probably good, but I kind of want his other bonuses to be applied to this battle. So I don't want to split him up from his army and put him with the hero. Let's see. The Spider already has wall climbing. The Swarm Darter does not, but actually the Swarm Darter is probably more likely to stay outside of the walls than even the Apprentices, because he can shoot right through them with no trouble. The other fairy can stay there. I think I'll put the Forge Priest with my hero. And I'll put the Spider with this group, since there's not really another tough unit over there. They've got a few with the Bear. And then, you know what? Just because he would get some benefit from it, I'll put the Apprentice with that army, with the Fairy with him. So basically all these people will use wall climbing to their maximum potential. And like I said, this guy with the range attack, he can shoot right over the wall anyway, no problem. Alright, wasted a little bit of movement on him, setting that up the way I did, but I think I'm good to attack here. Doesn't really matter what unit I hit it with, I'll probably just go with the saber-tooth chariot that has the most movement. It's a probable victory. Before I do this, let me look real quick at, well, okay, now I'm just going to have combat spells. I was thinking maybe I had like some cool, strategic spell that would like demoralize the city or something. I do have Incite Revolt, but I'm just short of the mana to cast it. And it only penalizes the city, not the units that are in it. So that's actually not really a very good spell for me if I'm about to capture a city. The Warlord's, what's it called? Dread Siege is a lot better for city capture, because that actually demoralizes the defenders of the city. Alright, let's get this party started. My first siege. Or first major siege, anyway. They're throwing curses. Fortunately, didn't succeed. Alright, let me figure out how I want to approach this. With most of the Mystics being down here, I feel like it might be wise to go up. The Trebuchet's kind of sticking out there. That's also further away from the Shadow Stalker. The Trebuchet's got more range and will do a lot of damage with each hit, so I kind of want to kill that really fast. I could even get this guy onto the wall right away, but I'm afraid of the Succubi coming out and charming him or doing something else irritating, so I won't get him on the wall yet because I can't get enough other units up there with him. I'm considering using their Guardian Flames early, but I think I'm going to save it just in case someone needs some healing after this turn. Alright, let's start moving this army this way. As far as I know, they don't have any area effect attacks. They do have that enchanted thread, which will be a little bit of a problem if somebody gets webbed, but I think it'll be... I have enough units that I should still be okay. I'm going to run everyone kind of straight, except for those Swarm Darters need to stay well out of range of any of the tougher range units. Unfortunately, they're going to have to hang. They're going to be hanging back a little bit. Over here, I might pester them a little bit with some of these units. I'm not sure if I should split up or not, but these guys might be able to draw some fire. The fairies have fire protection, and they have spirit protection, so the Mystics actually can't even touch the fairies at all. They're a great match for those Mystics. So I'm going to want to move them up. I think they also have mind control immunity. They have strong will. Oh yeah, they can't be converted because they have 100% spirit protection. They can't be seduced. So not a bad set of units, and they will wreck the Shadow Stalker too. The fairies are exactly what I want going after the units that are down here. So hopefully I can trick them into fighting those fairies more so than anything else. The Dreadnought's tough enough that I'm okay with like putting him right up here. If these guys run down to try to seduce him, I can easily kill them. The Node Serpent, I'm a little less sure what to do with. I kind of want to keep him here near the Orc Apprentice for the healing, but I'll figure that out probably as the battle develops. I Going to leave the saber-tooth chariot here just to maybe tempt that succubus to fly out of the wall and come after him. Probably won't work. Alright, I think everybody's pretty much done their moves for this turn. Do I have any battlefield spells that I would like to cast? This guy might have something useful. He's got Flashbang. How much damage would they do attacking him if his guard is down? Not much. They'll do not much either. I'm considering using Flashbang on somebody. Would it work on the Trebuchet? It could. It resisted it anyway. Alright. Well, we'll see what they do then. Figure I may as well use his casting points. Okay. They're attacking the Dreadnought, who can heal himself with Guardian Flame, so I'm not too worried about that. I'd rather have them wasting their magic on him than anybody else. Okay, a little damage to the fairies there, but nothing that I'm too terribly concerned about. Let's see how much those Tigran Mystics like this. Alright, so I've done 14 damage to them. Interested to see if they decide to heal or turn into a panther or not. Not really sure what to expect out of them. This guy needs to just heal himself, I think. I'm probably going to heal him right there. Maybe I'll tempt the Mystic into shooting at him again. I wouldn't mind that. As long as he's kind of like out of their... As long as they're still getting a range penalty for hitting him, and I think they are. Their good area of attack extends 4 spaces out, so they'd have to come down here. There'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, he's good in this spot, I think. I can put the spider up on the wall just to irritate them. Units really don't like it when you do that, enemy units. So they might freak out and go after the spider. If she does, I can have this fairy in position to kind of do some serious damage. I'm thinking about putting that fairy up on the wall. I'm trying to decide if that's too much of a risk. The Shadow Stalker can't reach the fairy if I do that, though, so it should be safe on this turn. Yeah, they don't like having enemy units on the wall. That's for sure. Alright, let's look up over here for a minute while I'm kind of thinking in the back of my mind about what to do with that Node Serpent. The Trebuchet is a problem. That's going to do a lot of damage every round of combat, and my Mosquito Darts won't do much against it. I need these Forge Priests to hit that thing. And I need a way... Well, I could probably just go for it with wall climbing. I mean, that's an option. All these units can scale that wall. But I'm wondering what part of the wall to scale. It's a little bit concerning because as soon as the Saber-Tooth Chariot goes on the wall, it's going to be more vulnerable to their seduction. They won't have a very good chance of seducing him. Even with his guard down, it's 39% because of the spirit protection. But it's enough to make me want to think very carefully about how I do this. It's also possible they might not seduce at all and just straight up attack me. One unit that I know can't get seduced is my hero, but my hero just got cursed. So that's kind of a... Well, what exactly does curse do? I want to look at the other effects of this. -2 defense, aside from the morale, -2 defense, -2 resistance. So I need to be careful with her. The bear can't get on the wall anyway. What I think I'm going to do is wait a turn and then kind of put everybody on the wall at once to hopefully more or less overwhelm them. I can handle another hit from the Trebuchet with everybody on defense. Shouldn't be a problem. I think I'll move him around to this side of the wall and move him over here. Spread out a little bit. And I want my hero probably over here because I know she can't get converted. So I want to leave units on both sides of these guys so that I can try to so that I can try to kill these things really quickly if they do convert one of my 2 saber-tooth chariots in the middle, if that makes any sense. I also could just take a hit on this thing, which would lure it into shooting back at the Forge Priest, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave him on defense. Also, I think this guy is probably going to be more useful to those armies over there. For now, I'll stick him behind this rock. He's got the ability to phase. And I'm going to send the mage over this direction. He's got some fire damage that will hurt that trebuchet. I think everybody's good. Already used that spell. I'm not ready. I don't want to use a spell with her in the position that she's currently in. So I'll save the spell casting points for now. I might need them later. Alright, I think that's good. Oh yeah, I don't want to forget about the Swarm Darter. They've got more range than he does. I have to be very careful with that Swarm Darter until those ranged units are more or less dealt with. So I want to keep him out of their range for now. This spot should be good. Alright, everybody else good? I think everybody's good. Decent position. Okay, they got somebody in a net. One of my saber-tooth chariots. Trebuchet went for the hero. Okay, I thought those mystics would probably go after the spider. That's fine. Let's see, what have we got here? Oh, shredders are hitting the fairy. And these units, kind of like I thought, are freaking out and going this way towards the other units that I put on the wall. In fact, they've just sent off all of their succubi in that direction. They really, really do not like it if you put units up on the wall. Alright, well that gives me the opportunity I was looking for over here. Question is, should I hit him with the Forge Priest now or get the Forge Priest up on the wall now? If the Forge Priests go here, these units can still attack them. They can't attack them if they stay down off the wall. Wait, this one can. Alright, well here's what I basically know I'm going to do. These guys are going up and over the wall. Including my hero. This is going to leave her guard down for a bit. But I can take that hit. Nothing else is going to hit her other than the trebuchet, so she'll be fine. Is that minor amount of damage worth it? I don't think so, because I should be able to kill it on the next turn anyway. In fact, if I go up on the wall and can convince one of those things to come after me, that might be a good thing for me. Alright, let's do this. Let me put this guy in the middle of the battlefield. See if I can trick anything to coming after him. Because he's got inflict stun. And as long as he stays away from the mystics, none of this other stuff's going to hurt him that bad. I think he has physical... No, they don't have physical protection. Why do I keep thinking they have physical protection? It's because of the Phantasm Warriors, I think. Anyway, he still has 115 health, and that gets him a little closer to the Orc Apprentice that can actually heal him. So I'm going to leave the Orc Apprentice where he is currently. On defense. Alright, what to do down here? I've got fairies that I really want to kill that mystic with. But if I do, the Shadow Stalker is going to come in. He actually won't do hardly any damage against the fairies because his attacks are out. He's got frost damage and they resist that too. Those fairies are really good against everything down here. And I would like to point out, Who Am I 2357 was right. That transformed into a Dire Panther as soon as it took damage. So I don't have to worry about more range attacks. In fact, if I do damage to this one, I could back off. And then just shoot stuff over the walls at these guys. I want to keep her away from the shredders, though. They were doing a lot of damage. In In fact, I need to be really careful with that fairy in general. I think I'm going to pull her back over here, where the Sun Guard can't hurt, or the Mystic can't hurt her. I think I would be okay to kill the... I think I'd be okay to kill that Mystic. The question is what comes next. Oh, he's got wall climbing, that's right. He's got wall climbing from the spider. Whatever hits her wouldn't take away all of her action points if something hit the fairy. It would take away at most 2, leaving me enough room to fly away, I think. If I can get my Dreadnought here to take her place, she might have to take a hit, but I think she'd be okay. I can get rid of that ranged threat. And that leaves probably the Panther to go after her. Won't do nearly enough damage to kill her or even really threaten to kill her. If the Shadow Stalker comes in, that'd be even less of a problem. The Spider I might have to be a little concerned about. The Spider is a bit more fragile than the Fairy in this context. I'm wondering whether I should retreat the Spider or not. I think instead what I'm going to do is back it out of the range of the Shadow Stalker, but still in range of that Panther. If both units go after it, I should have enough firepower here to kill them and prevent the Spider from getting killed. The Shadow Stalker can't reach her from there. The Panther can. So that's, I think, a good spot for the Spider to sit for now. I would love to sneak up on those Shredders with the Swarm Darter, but there's too many Succubi back there that could fly out and kill it, and I really don't want to lose that unit if it can be avoided. So I'm going to play it safe and make sure I keep him still out of range. Out of range of the Succubi, specifically. They have longer range than the Shredder does. But still in range that he could cause some trouble here if anything else goes after them. Alright, I think that's it for this turn. Can't cast any spells, so... Okay, good. Resisted Enchanted Thread. Alright, the Panthers are the ones that are going to go after the Fairy, it seems. Wait, what are they doing? They're just staying there? I guess they're just defending. Which is odd. They don't normally... Oh, they pounced. Okay. I guess units can pounce off of walls, then. I didn't know that. I knew units couldn't pounce up over walls. But I was just kind of wondering if they could pounce off of them. Okay, resisted the Seduce, and one Succubi is now going to die. Spiders got regrowth. I did forget about that, so that's very good for me. I have plenty of options for dealing with these units now. They actually don't do as much damage to the Shadow Stalkers as I thought. Probably because... Wait, why is there... Something drained their action points. Somebody must have tried to curse them or something. They won't do as much damage to the Shadow Stalkers as I thought, probably because the Shadow Stalkers are immune to the frost component of their magic. This hero should still be fine. I mean, I don't want to leave him up on the wall, but... How much damage would they do to that Dire Panther? Not really enough. Gotta do some, though. Not even close to being able to kill it. It doesn't... I can't tell if, in this case, I'll take an attack of opportunity. As long as the Panther's turned around, I don't think I'll take an attack of opportunity from it. So I should still be able to move with this guy. But the question is whether I actually want him to go up there and face that Shadow Stalker. The Shadow Stalker can come off the wall after me anyway. It's just a question of how I'm actually going to kill that thing. I don't want to take the Fairy off of defense here, because the Shadow Stalker, I'm assuming, is going to go after the Spider and do a decent amount of damage. Well, if I take the... You know, if I take the Fairy off defense, it doesn't really matter. The Shredders could do some damage to the Fairy if I took her off defense. I think between all those units, though, she'd still be okay. This guy definitely won't kill the spider, at least not on this turn. I just worried that I want to make sure I can kill it fast enough afterwards. I don't want to leave this fairies down here with the panther, because the panther could kill them. I need to do something about the panther first. The panther is the primary threat here. The shadow stalker is not. So I'm going to take this guy back down the wall. See, now they'll get an attack of opportunity on him. I wonder why coming down from the wall he didn't get attacked by them. I guess I'm not going to complain. I could have pounced, I think. Unless you can't pounce when you're on a wall. If I web them, how much damage will this guy do if he sneaks up behind me? A little too much for comfort. But webbing them would lower their... It would lower their movement. I really want to hit him with that fairy. Webbing them would lower their movement if it fails, but if it fails, it'll lower their movement. And it's a 40% chance. They'll still have 2 attacks left. If that failed, the Shadow Stalker would probably come flank me, then the Panther would flank me, and I'd probably lose my hero. Definitely don't want that to happen. I might need to cast a spell here. I think my hero's going to have to cast a spell, because I don't like how that's developing down there. A little bit too risky. What I do like how it's developing over here is the succubi, which just flew out and are now going to get nuked by all of my surrounding units. They're not even close enough to do anything about me moving up here and flank attacking them. That does a lot of damage. My swarm darters can probably come pretty close to polishing them off. And then I'll let this thing finish the job. Alright, that takes care of that little issue. That was a lot easier to deal with. Are they close enough to threaten the dwarf? Yes, but they'll only hit it once. And I really want to get a hit in on this trebuchet, so move them all the way onto the wall. Get a nice strong hit on it. I should be able to kill that thing on this turn. In fact, the bears almost guarantee it. Let's get my hero up onto the wall. Get these guys up. And going to go after that trebuchet, probably with the bear. I just don't want the bear to get overwhelmed by stuff. He does have regrowth. So does the spider, now that I remember it again. So I don't have to worry about it as much. That might be an option down there. That takes care of the trebuchet. And I can retain the Sun Spear, which was I was considering using against it. I'll leave him here to see what those succubi do. And my hero has all the flexibility in the world to cast a spell if she wants to. I want to move her forward so that she's not away from everything, but still out of range of the succubi. That should work. Alright, so what combat spells do I have that could be useful in this situation? Generally speaking, I really want that panther to die. If that panther dies, most of my problems are solved. I could cast quick dash on these fairies to get a couple more hits in, heal them a little bit. They should be able to shoot twice more at the panther if I do that. I think I'm going to do that. Okay, I feel a little better about them now. They can shoot the panther a couple more times to whittle down its damage a bit more. I want to get that in range where the dreadnought could kill it in one hit. I might have to use these guys too. If I do use them, I could move the spider up. They're going to take, what, 19 damage times 2 would be 40 damage tops. That's with Omen of the Dove, jeez. Let's turn the fairies around. Ah, see, if I turn them around, this guy has flanking and backstab. He could kill the fairies. He's already moved. Man, this is a rough spot. It's almost like no matter what I do. I mean, okay, I could pounce. I've got that option. Actually, why don't I just pounce? That would save the Dreadnought. It'll put him back on defense. Get a free hit on the Panther. And he's got lifesteal. The Panther can't get back up on the wall, as far as I know. Which allows me to leave the Fairy on defense. If it moves, the Dreadnought will kill it. That way the Fairy doesn't have to worry about getting backstabbed by this thing. That'll also allow me to leave the Spider on defense, so he can take a couple hits with no problem. Okay, I think that's good, actually, how that all worked out. And he doesn't threaten them because he can't backstab them. Somebody else got ensnared in net. I think it was the guy who was already down there. Alright, they're going to critical hit somebody, but I don't think it's going to matter. We've got Succubi coming back in, going for the bear. I thought they'd probably try to seduce him. I can kill them fast enough that that's not an issue. Fortunately, they did not seduce the Sun Guard. Okay. He's good. Everybody's good. Alright. I think Pounce might have saved me in that situation. I'm wondering how else I could have gotten out of that. Okay, so obvious thing. Gotta kill those guys. If I'm standing behind the bear, I could probably get them. I might get some sort of a penalty for shooting over an obstacle because the bear is kind of like halfway in the way. But I don't think it'd be too severe at that close of range. Do these things have fire resistance at all? I don't think they do. Though they do have fire protection. 60%. So that won't work. I probably should try to assassinate them. There's nothing else in the area that really threatens my queen, so this might be a good chance to use backstab or assassin strike. That's going to do a ton of damage. I'm going to use assassin strike. Turn them around. Leaving him free to go after that one. I want all 3 hits on it. I'm not going to worry about the charge bonus. I have to kill them on this turn. I want him here, though. They could backstab him, but he's got a lot of health. Alright, that uses up some of their movement, but the problem persists that they aren't dead. Fortunately, I do have this Node Serpent. He can phase and help out here. And I've also got the option of these guys, which I see no reason, because they're already getting blocked by the bear anyway, to move them a little closer and to try to get a better hit. Oh, the bear is on guard. That won't work. Duh. Alright. Well, between these other units, I should still be able to phase and kill the Succubi, who are facing the chariot now, so I want to phase here and get another flank hit on it. Okay, so the bear is back under my control now. That gives me the flexibility to shoot at that succubus and kill it with the bear. Should kill it in one hit. Yep. Okay, good. The Orc Apprentice is a bit beat up. I'm going to try to get him just up on the wall so he's not getting entangled. Those guys actually are going to be able to reach him on this turn. I don't think they'll kill him, but I probably should have paid more attention to where they were and just ran him further away. The Swarm Darters haven't done anything yet, just because they're too fragile and I'm worried about them. Okay, I've got several options down here now. This thing does kind of threaten my hero, but he'll be fine as long as I leave him on defense. He's also got Guardian Flame, so he's going to hit back pretty hard. And they don't have any fire protection. I'm going to damage it a bit. And I just want that Panther to die. I want that Panther to go away. So get out of here. Leave him on defense. He will handle that Shadow Stalker just fine, I think. I want to see how much damage he'll do with his melee attack, though. Yeah, he'll be fine. And I'll leave the spider where it is because there's not really any reason to move it. The Shadow Stalker's the only unit left here. Oh, and the Shredder. It's a good thing Enchanted Thread didn't trigger on any units down here. Uh-oh, here's the critical hit. Are they going to take something out? Nope. Oh, they backstabbed the fairies. It's a little too late, though. And those fairies have regrowth. I didn't think a lot about regrowth, at least not as much as I should have in this battle. Alright, at this point, it's just a question of who wants the kill. I know I could heal somebody with Guardian Flames. These guys could sure use it, so want to make sure to do that. Use any other passive healing abilities. I can try to charm these guys before killing them. They resisted, so they will be eaten. Alright. Yeah, it's just a question of who wants the XP for this, and I think it's pretty obviously going to be my Dreadnought. That gun should do the trick. Oh, it's going to come close. That physical protection. Nope, he survived. Okay, who else wants XP? How about that spider? That thing kind of needs to level up. Alright, I think I just did that without losing any units. Yes, perfect. Very, very good. So now half the episode's over. But that was a very important battle. I needed to get off to a really strong start fighting these computers. And I think I did. Now I want to take the city. I'll just run him in there. It's fine. There were no heroes in here, so I don't get any items for this. I have extra vision range now, so would like to try to spot where the enemy hero is. And I don't really have any clue as to where he might be, honestly. If you look at the overall map, this is a different player here. That's not one of his cities. So the enemy rogue is somewhere else. I'm wondering if he's got like a city in here, but I think it's more likely that he followed the land and went somewhere up there. It just makes me wonder, like, he's got to have other cities. Where would they be? I could spare a ferry to go over there and scout a bit. Probably not going to do that. I think, how much do I have left to cast this? I'm not sure how much more this will cost me to cast. If I have enough left to, I'm going to cast this anyway, so I don't have quite enough left to summon another crow on this turn. Maybe on the next turn. Well, I can at least go see what's over here with this one. I can spot the necromancer's city. He's got a decent army in there. I'd like to see a little more, but the crow will die if I do, so I want to keep him alive. Have enough movement to go one more space this way, and then I can still end my turn on the water. Alright, well, it's a Tigran city, so I don't see any reason to change that. It's in a nice temperate spot, so they'll like it. I'll just absorb this city. On a completely different note elsewhere, he wants an upgrade. He's already gotten it. Let's dig up some more gold with this guy, because I'm going to have to make decisions about what to purchase on this turn. I still got my underground crows. 2 sets of them, actually. These guys are going to go follow the... Well, I was thinking about following the lava river, but I think I'll just go through here. Yeah, I wanted to see what was up here. And that's a decent little spot for a city. That wouldn't be a bad city. Good stuff for Saber-Tooth Chariot, good stuff for range units. Might put a goblin city there, actually. Use the Vault of Knowledge to build some good swarm darters. That might be kind of fun. That's sort of dependent on whenever I get this goblin city under my control, and they're still charging me an arm and a leg, so won't be yet. Okay, so Druid has some battles coming up for her army this turn. I want to pick on a smaller group first to try to get a unit converted. And honestly, I don't really care for any of these units. I guess the Hellhounds are pretty good. Probably rather have a Hellhound. The Flamer wouldn't be bad, actually. Especially going into a battle against the Frostlings. So I don't want that army to go against those Frostlings right now. I eventually want to try to convert that Mammoth Rider. Maybe the Ice Queen if I think I can get it. She doesn't have mind control immunity or anything like that, so let's start off with these guys here. I need evil points, I believe. It's not telling me. Alignment's neutral. Yeah, I'll get a few more evil points. Alright, bring it on, losers. Gonna try to convert somebody here. I can't really decide if I want the Hellhound or the Flamer more. I mean, the Hellhound's a tier 2 unit, so it should be more useful, but Flamers are a great tier 1. Well, let's try to figure out who they're gonna charge. That Penguin, I believe, is... No, not weak to fire. He just has frost protection. So they're fairly neutral against the Hellhounds. They've got lifesteal, so I'll let them just sit there and hopefully draw some fire. I want the hero back because I don't want her... I want her being able to use a range attack. And the Bard, obviously, don't want to get that killed. Sun Guard, he can go up front. I'll go after the Sun Guard or the Penguin. And then these guys can try to throw a curse. Should probably curse whatever unit I think I want to convert. Just to make sure that they don't have some weird... Okay, so no, I should be fine trying to charm them. I think I'm going to go for a Hellhound here. It's also an animal, so my Druid might get some... My Druid could use Awakened Spirit on it and stuff like that. It's probably not going to curse, though. It's alright. Figured I'd give it a shot. He'll have curse available again in a couple turns. That Flamer just really does not care for my Bard. I can't have that. I'm gonna leave them on defense because they've got frost weakness. Those Penguins are a pretty good counter to those Hellhounds. I can actually probably kill... I'm gonna kill that Flamer since I'm not actually trying to convert him. Alright, get 2 shots into him there. I don't want the Hellhounds to run around and threaten my hero. I don't think they do, though. I think the hero's fine. Trying to decide... Okay. The Bard could get up there and kill those guys, I think. The Hellhounds will be able to reach her, but if I put the Sun Guard here, they won't. Or actually, even if I put the Sun Guard right next to them, they won't be able to, because they'd have to go around it. I'll do that. In fact, they have Guard Breaker, so I'll just do that. And on that note, use up some of their weapons too. Yeah, the Penguin took a little more damage there than I was thinking he would, but I still don't think that thing will kill it. In fact, I know it won't because these guys still have attacks they can use. Now it can't move, and it's only going to hit the Penguin once tops. I'm hoping they don't all kill themselves on this turn, but I think they will. Nope. Okay, good. So I still have a chance to kill that Hellhound, or to convert that Hellhound. This guy's curse is available again, so slightly better odds. Still didn't get it, so I'll just try doing this. Oh, that was Befriend Animal. Right, I wasn't even thinking, but the Bards could give it a shot. I had Befriend Animal, too. Alright. I could have tried to get 2 units out of that battle. Forgot about the Druid's Befriend Animal. Would obviously work on those things. Okay, so another decent unit to add to this army. They can run over here and go ruin these monkeys' day. The monkeys are probably going to run up and try to throw poop on one of these 2 units and kill one really fast. But I'm going to try to... I think they'll be okay. I think my units will be fine. I could use Befriend Animal to try to convert one of those monkeys. They're not really my favorite unit, but they do have sprint, and they do have cave crawling. I think they have cave... No, they don't have cave crawling, but they do have night vision. Or is it that backwards? No, they don't have either, actually. They still... I could use them to run around underground or just be a nuisance somewhere. I could always use extra units down south, so I might send them that way. Anyway, I do want to make sure that none of these more vulnerable units get hit. So, let's see here. The Bard could try to convert the Cobbled. That actually would be a nice unit for me to get. They've got tunneling. I need to try to get them. Befriend Animal on one of the others. Alright, I think those monkeys have already thrown the filth. That one has not yet. These guys have blight protection, so I don't have to worry so much about that. I think I'm going to let the monkeys charge in after me. I'd like to try to kill one, maybe. I'm going to go for it. I think I can get it. Yeah, they're pretty fragile. That takes care of one. The other one can do really whatever it wants. I'm going to stick those sun guards just in the way of everything. And probably just move the Hellhound back just to be safe. Alright, I think that's good. Alright, so here's my opportunity to try to convert some stuff. See if I can curse the Cobbled. It succeeded. 70%? Got him. Alright, that's really good. Can I befriend Animal on the monkeys? I would like to heal a unit, but I don't think I have any way of getting them to stay there and not hit anything on this turn, so I'm just going to go try and befriend them here. Okay, cool. Got a couple more units out of that. And got a warg as a reward, so this army just grew a lot. I've gotten 4 units in 2 battles. And I'm thinking most of them probably aren't needed up here. You know what? That penguin's got swimming. I could get it down south pretty quick. I think that penguin's going to split off from this group and go do its own thing. Join these guys. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Let's make use of that swimming ability and get that penguin down to where I need extra units more fighting the necromancer in the south, because I did kill their hero here, but I have no idea what other units they might have in this city on the way. I'm trying to get this backup army here as quickly as I can, but I don't think they're going to make it in time. I don't know. It depends. It depends on how quickly the computer moves. I really need to know what way I need to head here. I'm going to just go after the... For now, I know there's a city here, and I don't know whether there's a city here. For now, I think I'm going to just go after what I know. I'm going to send my units east, and if something comes back from this direction to recapture the capital, I'll see it, and then I'll know something's over there. I'm banking on their hero being in this area somewhere, maybe even underground, though. Let's get my units paired back up into more of their original army shape, kind of a balanced mix of units, since the wall climbing isn't quite as much of an issue anymore. Although I will need it for that battle. That's a stone wall over there, so I actually probably should leave everybody in the groups that they were in. The Node Serpent doesn't need healing, so I don't need to make sure the priest is with him. Alright, we'll do that. Send them here, send the Saber-Tooth Chariot there, and these guys here, and they'll just march on to the next city. And then, what to do with the rest of these units? I want that Hellhound to stay with the Rogue, since it's an animal, and a pretty tough animal at that. The Cobbled, I want to go tunnel out stuff, help the Dwarf prosper. Actually, maybe the Cobbled should go south. There's lots to tunnel around down here. Yeah, why not? In fact, let's just get started with this. Since I'm planning on putting a city in this area anyway, it makes sense to start turning some of this to barons. Right. A monkey, I'm wanting to turn into an explorer, but I've actually already done a pretty good job exploring most of the underground. So I think the monkey is also going to go south to help in the battle against the Actually, that's a terrible idea. The necromancer is going to be immune to most of the damage that the monkey does. I'm just going to send him actually back. I know that sounds odd, but if I send him back and then pop him out of this cave entrance in the north, he could explore some of what's up here. I'll just use him as a kind of a throwaway scout. And then I'll try to keep her in with a group of 6. Don't know if I'll do this battle on this turn or not. This army kind of needs some healing. So I think I'm going to wait on that. This wants to know if I should confirm army movement. Absolutely. I want to grab these haste berries here, boost my speed a bit, and see what all is over here. Try to get down behind this necromancer. Okay, there's another city over here that I have not met yet, so I should be able to meet them on the next turn. Alright. He had a critical failure destructing treasure raiding, but I have some spells that are probably on the low end of their reinforced capabilities. I have by far the most global spells up right now, so that's good. And I'm still making mana. What needs restored here? Treasure raiding got knocked down to 25. It won't do much, but I'm going to try to reinforce that a little bit. Just to use up that extra mana. Especially since my mage army up here is going to... Wait, where are they? Are they further... Oh, they're right here. They just were getting ready to go into that tomb. Which I'm waiting a turn so they can heal a little bit, I think. Actually, why am I waiting a turn? I don't think they need to heal. That unit should be fine, and this guy doesn't have any healing abilities. You know what? I'm going to do this battle real quick before the episode's over. Probable victory. Why is that? There's something about this battle that I'm not expecting. You know, they're at the end. They can't move again this turn anyway, so that's probably why. I was going to wait one turn and let them heal a little bit since they can't move on yet anyway. Alright, that makes sense. That's probably what I was doing. Alright, let's go to the next turn so I can say I've at least made it through one turn in this episode. At this point in time, I just kind of want to watch this area and see if anything moves in to try to retake the city. Leaving it completely vulnerable, the computer should place a pretty high priority on getting it back. I'm hoping that their king just comes running straight back in this direction. I don't see any movement over on these islands, which is kind of what I was looking for. This is also a throne city, I just noticed. I could kind of go 2 for 1 here. Maybe knock 2 people out really quick, if I can get lucky enough to find their leaders. Okay. I think that this is a good time to probably wrap this up. This guy sent me a message. I'm going to at least see what that is. Okay. Every now and then, like, somebody tries to surrender or whatever. I think it actually would tell me that they're offering surrender in the notification, but whatever. You know, buzz off. He can go... He's not going to last long, I don't think. I mean, his throne's right there. And I already know where some of his underground cities are, too, even though I don't have any capacity to do anything about them yet. Still, I feel like I'm in really good shape right now. That battle went extremely well. That I control one of their throne cities. Hopefully we'll find their king soon to control a second throne city. As long as I don't do anything really stupid, I should be okay. And then an added bonus here, this is all volcanic, not blight, so my Tigrans aren't going to mind that terrain so much either. Good for me, I guess. I was kind of worried about running into terrain that they were going to hate. Alright, I think that's going to wrap this one up. I think I don't have anything else to go over in this episode. So thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. Good advice in the comments, as always, very helpful. And I will see you in the next episode.